Welcome everyone. We're here with LAFC head coach Steve Cherundolo. We'll get started with questions on site, and a reminder to those of you on Zoom, if you would like to ask a question, please use the raise your hand function. You want to get started, Josh?
Sure. Steve, you say that when the players come back from international break, they're always in a better mood no matter what. They're bringing something positive to the group. Obviously, you had a lot of guys who experienced something real highs, and then some guys who didn't get what they wanted. Just tell me a little bit on what you saw from them and how they've been reintegrated.
Well, I think you can take whatever you want out of it, and of your experiences abroad with your national team. Sometimes it's really high. You would rather have a third game, possibly a fourth and a fifth, and keep going down that path. Sometimes you're happy to get back to your club, to just sort of forget maybe what happened, and get back to normalcy, get back to your daily life. Anyhow, I think our players all do a really good job of taking the positive out of it, whether that's coming back or that's drawing off of an emotional high. For Timmy, for example, who got a couple games and played very well and a couple wins too.
And what's it been like around here, especially with the weather? Has it affected your preparation?
Nothing. The field holds out great. We're obviously have great staff here to manage the weather, the field, and so it hasn't affected us at all. If anything, kind of sets the mood.
And lastly, just Vancouver, obviously a team that has shown throughout the season, right? They started extremely well, and they've seemed to maintain that. With the addition of Muller, how have you seen him add to the group that they had, and what are you expecting? It's first time for you to see them with Muller. How does that change how you approach them?
Yeah, he's definitely a difference maker, a focus point for them offensively and defensively. He's a leader. Certainly made that team better, as has Sonny us. And I think Vancouver has shown all season that they are very particular in how they play with their behaviors and their movements, not so much formational. Meaning it's a very active team, it's a very disciplined team, and it's a fit team. At times, also quite aggressive and sometimes overboard. That's up to the referee to manage that. But it's certainly a team that, with very few moments throughout the season, they have always brought intensity, activity, being proactive, discipline in a tactical sense, and aggressiveness. And that's the standard that they bring every game.
What are the biggest challenges that Mueller provides?
Well, I think it's just a player who understands the game extremely well. I don't know how many games he's played, but all at a very high level since very early on in his career. One of the few players to move up through Bayern's second team straight into the first team. Has obviously a plethora of experience and technical ability, a little unorthodox movement as well. A lot physically stronger than he looks. I can tell you firsthand. And so I just think it's somebody who can read a game from front to back very quickly and easily, and has the physical capabilities and technical abilities also to hurt you. And so in many ways, he is a very modern number 10 for this league.
What was your experience with going up against him?
A little different. You're not just going up against Thomas Müller. You're going up against Franck Ribéry, Arjen Robben, you name them, and Robert Lewandowski. So it's not just one player against Bayern Munich. You're kind of up. It's a tough challenge, to say the least. But we have won there. I will put that on the record.
Did you ever go up one-on-one with him?
Less him. Yeah, less him. Positionally was more from the middle.
The media, I think, are guilty sometimes of getting into this conversation about the one player, the star, the focal point, Son versus Denis. I've done it plenty. Besides those guys, how do you see team matchup to team matchup? And compared to the years that they had Vanni Sartini, where have you seen Vancouver different under Jesper Sorensen mentality and the way way that they approach?
Yeah, I think it's a team. It's a very well-rounded team. They have a concept of how to play against the ball, and what I'm very impressed to see is that they don't change, and they've been very consistent. Not so much in spatial or formational, which they are consistent in that, but that's not important. It's their behaviors, sliding through, stepping forward, being moving as a block, as a unit, very narrow defensively, very compact, but always getting pressure on their ball. In some ways, very similar to early Red Bull days, and that's not easy to do, and they have the players to do that. So I think matching a playing style up with the players you have is really important, and he's done that, and I think he's done a great job in that. And then you sprinkle in some quality players, then it just becomes a little more dangerous offensively. So then you start to score goals as well, and it's just kind of one thing on top of it. And now you look at a deeper bench than a Vancouver team has ever had, and so they're subbing in 3-4 really quality players on the offensive end to also change the trajectory of games, if the game is not going according to their game plan. So I think it's certainly the most competitive Vancouver LAFC Vancouver we've seen yet. And you break it down by player to player.
Next, we'll move to take questions online. As a reminder, for those of you who would like to ask a question over Zoom, please use the raise your hand function. We'll start with our friend from Vancouver. Please introduce yourself and then ask your question.
Hi, this is Farr in Vancouver with Daily Hive. Steve, you mentioned the aggressiveness with Vancouver. How do you look to take advantage of that? And you mentioned the referee having to manage that. Can you elaborate on what you meant by that?
Yeah. Every match officiated is different. Every ref has their own style, has their own feeling for the game. We tend to see in playoffs things refs let a little more go before they start grabbing yellow cards and stuff, which is great. Letting players decide matches is the way to handle it, as long as players are safe. I'm fully confident in the officiating in this league, and I'm sure we'll see more of that in this match. The only way you can match aggressiveness is to be the same. I think matching Vancouver's work rate, matching Vancouver's aggressive mentality is the very least what we need to accomplish there if we want to come away as winners. But I know this team, I know my group, and we're more than capable of doing that.
All right, next up we'll go to Armando and then Justin. Armando, go ahead and unmute.
There you go. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we got you.
Good. Hello, Steve. What did you expect from this Vancouver team? They have the defender of the year, a little striker, Hunter in his prime, and on top of that, they are playing at home and they are hungry for revenge after 3 consecutive playoff series that you beat them.
Yeah, I be honest with you, I'll give you an answer, but I think you answered the question yourself. All what you said is exactly what we expect, and it's what we saw all season from them. And so I think you see now a team who really believes in itself, and they have an opportunity to prove that at home. And I imagine the stadium will be filled as well. And so yeah, it's going to be a great atmosphere. But I do have the knowledge, and I think the experience to say my teams show up for moments like this, and I can imagine there are plenty of other teams Vancouver would rather play than LAFC.